Hi guys and welcome to MotorBeam. I hope all of you are doing good. The Honda City has been on sale in India for more than 20 years now, and this car has carved out a very good brand value for itself. Honda has sold more than 8 lakh units of the previous 4 generations of this car, and now what I have with me is the all new 5th generation Honda City, which is possibly the most important car for India in 2020. Without wasting any time, let's get started. The new Honda City is 109mm longer, 53mm wider and 6mm shorter in height compared to the older car. However, the wheelbase is exactly the same at 2600mm. Now, the new City is based on a more developed version of the older car's platform, and it is lighter than the older car by around 4 kgs. The styling of the new City is completely different. It looks stylish and even resembles the Civic from certain angles. Up front, you get full LED headlamps, LED DRLs and a very generous dose of chrome on the grille, which looks tasteful. Now, the new car comes with 16-inch wheels on all the variants, and the tire size is exactly the same as the 4th generation facelifted model. Now, at the rear, you again get LED tail lights, and even the turn indicators are LEDs. While the 4th generation City looked like an evolution of the 3rd generation car in design, the 5th generation City looks completely different. Step inside and a completely new cabin welcomes you. The dashboard has undergone a design change and it looks very functional now. The ergonomics of this car are nicely sorted and all these controls fall within easy reach of the hand. Honda has given the City a new steering wheel, a new infotainment system, a new instrument cluster, and even these outer mirrors are positioned slightly behind the A-pillar to reduce the blind spot. Now, in this cabin, you get a dual tone color theme which is black and beige, and you do get some hard plastics on the dashboard over here. There is a wooden inlay on the center of the dashboard which looks very good, and below that on the panel, Honda has used some soft touch materials. At the front, you also get this very nice armrest which is comfortable and soft, and it also has a cubby hole inside it, so you can keep your wallet, your phone, your keys, whatever you want. Let's see what is there inside. So inside is the key of my 4th generation City Petrol, which I have parked at the Honda service center to get this one over here. Honda has offered a good amount of storage spaces and bottle holders in the new City, both at the front and at the rear. The boot capacity is a bit smaller than the older car. The older car used to have a capacity of 510 liters, while this one has a boot capacity of 506 liters. The front seats of this car offer a good amount of support and they are very nicely cushioned. The side bolstering of the seat is also very good. However, the new seats feel a bit thinner than the one on the older car. The front seats also get new headrests which are well shaped and more comfortable. If we talk about the space at the rear, well, as you can see, the knee room is quite good. However, the headroom is a bit limited compared to the older model. Now, the rear seat is also well shaped, and thankfully you get headrests for all the 3 passengers at the rear. However, none of these headrests are adjustable. Now, while there is a decent amount of space at the rear, fitting 3 people in the rear seat could be a slight task if all the people are heavily built. The new steering looks cool and feels great to hold. Meanwhile, the instrument cluster feels similar to the one on the Amaze but packs in some extra features like a G meter in which the ball in the center keeps moving depending on how you drive. The speedometer and tachometer are well laid out, large and clear to read, and in between you get a 7-inch TFT LCD which shows data like distance to empty, digital speed, fuel efficiency, trip meters, odometer and gear position indicator. There is also an Econ indicator on the CVT variant, and the ambient lighting on the panel now switches between white and green, unlike the older car where it switched between blue and green. The City now gets an 8-inch touchscreen infotainment system with connectivity options like Apple CarPlay, Android Auto, Bluetooth and USB. The screen is fluid and feels better than the digipad offered on the older car. However, the UI could have been a bit more polished. The sound quality from the speakers is also quite decent. You also get a multi-angle rear view camera and a lane watch camera. So basically, there's a small camera which is mounted on the left mirror and it shows you the side rear view on the touchscreen. The Honda City gets connected car features with Honda Connect. You get 32 features like crash notification, location tracking, speed alerts, service scheduler, roadside assistance, fuel alert, battery alert and tire pressure alert. This car also gets Alexa connectivity and users can give voice commands and switch on the AC and lights remotely. You can also know the fuel status, engine health and car location. You can also remotely open the boot with Alexa. Other features on the City include automatic headlamps, sunroof, auto dimming inside rear view mirror, auto up down for all 4 power windows, paddle shifters on the CVT, ambient lighting, keyless go and a rear sunshade. The 2020 Honda City is offered with 2 engine options. You get a 1.5 litre petrol or a 1.5 litre diesel engine. The diesel engine is the same that was offered on the older car and it is even offered on the Amaze. It is BS6 compliant now. Talking about the petrol engine, well, this is a new engine from the Dream series and it produces slightly more power at 121 PS. However, the peak torque of 145 Nm is similar to the older model. This engine is a DOHC unit and it comes with variable valve timing control along with VTEC. Now this is the first time that Honda has offered a DOHC engine with the City. Talking about this engine's refinement, well, the petrol engine is very silent, vibrations are minimal and overall it feels very smooth. Yes, when you go higher on the RPM band, this engine feels more audible. However, the noise isn't really annoying, in fact it sounds very sweet. The older engine never disappointed us in terms of performance and this one isn't any different. The low end of this engine is actually a bit more responsive than the older one. The mid-range continues to be very punchy and this engine loves to be revved all the way to 6,800 RPM. The peak power comes in at 6,600 RPM and 100 km/h comes up in second gear. This engine feels very tractable in the city, the drivability is very good and even out on the highways, overtaking other cars is an absolute breeze. This petrol engine is offered with either a 6-speed manual or a 7-step CVT, and just before driving the CVT which I'm driving right now, I drove the manual variant. Thankfully, Honda has added a 6th gear which was much needed in the older car. Now the gear shifts on the manual variant are very smooth and the clutch is also extremely light, making the City a properly easy car to drive. Talking about the CVT, well, you do get paddle shifters and in the S mode. Now the rubber band effect of the CVT is present on this one. However, when you compare it to the older car, this one feels more controlled. If you go hard on the throttle on the CVT variant, the rubber band effect will make its presence felt. However, go light or even easy on the gas and this car will offer you very linear power delivery. The CVT also offers a ton of convenience to people who regularly drive in city traffic. The official fuel efficiency figures of the new engine are slightly higher than the older engine. However, in actual driving conditions, do not really expect much of a difference. Now the manual variant will deliver anywhere between 10 to 13 km/L and it might go up on the highways. Talking about the fuel efficiency of the CVT, well, if you go hard on the throttle all the time, it will definitely sip a lot more fuel. However, stay light on the gas and this CVT rewards you with very good efficiency numbers. So these are the acceleration timings of the 2020 Honda City which we have tested using our V-Box. As you can see, the petrol manual variant is the quickest in the 0 to 100 acceleration run, while in in-gear acceleration it is actually the diesel variant which is quicker. Talking about the diesel engine, well, the new Honda City continues with the same 1.5 litre iD-Tech diesel engine. Now this engine was also offered on the older City and it continues coming with the Amaze. It is BS6 compliant now and it comes with a DPF, which is a diesel particulate filter. It produces 100 PS and 200 Newton meters, which is significantly lower than its closest rival, the Hyundai Verna. Now this engine was always known for its noisy nature, but now it feels a bit more refined and quiet. Vibrations and noises can be felt, but it feels a bit more controlled compared to the older car. Talking about the performance, well, the turbo lag is quite minimal on this one and low-end drivability is very good. In the city, the car feels very responsive, the mid-range is also quite good, but the top-end performance is where the City Diesel lacks. The City Diesel has a redline of about 4000 RPM and it reaches the redline very quickly. In terms of fuel efficiency, you can expect anywhere between 16 to 21 km/L depending on city or highway driving conditions and your driving style. Honda has worked on the suspension of this car and compared to the older car, this one feels a bit softer. The ride quality is very plush and the suspension is quite silent. It soaks up all the bumps and potholes very easily and most of the undulations are never really felt inside the cabin. This car has very good high-speed manners, and overall out on the highways it feels very planted. Talking about the steering wheel, it does offer a lot of feedback. When you drive in the city, it does feel very light, and out on the highways, it gradually weighs up. At high speeds, it offers a lot of confidence to the driver. However, at the center position, it does have a fair amount of play. The overall handling dynamics of this car are quite good, and the steering is also very precise. The older car had a slightly stiffer suspension, while this one is a bit softer in comparison. So when you take corners at high speeds, you do feel a slight amount of body roll. The braking performance of the city is very sure-footed, and the brakes have a very sharp bite. However, the city continues to come with drum brakes at the rear. Overall NVH levels are better than the older car, and this one really cocoons you from the outside world. In terms of safety features, the 2020 Honda City comes with 6 airbags, ABS with EBD, ISOFIX child seat mounts, vehicle stability assist, hill start assist, tire pressure monitoring system, and agile handling assist. Just like the older car, the new one has also scored a 5-star rating in the Asian NCAP crash test. Now, Honda has a very good service network across India, and generally customers have had a very good experience with the service quality and the reliability of Honda cars. It goes without saying that the new City is a huge improvement over the older car. It has more features, comes with better quality, and the petrol engine is upgraded, and it offers oodles of fun. Sadly, we don't get the 1-litre turbo petrol engine which is offered in international markets, and even the City's rivals like the Verna and the Rapid come with a 1-litre turbo engine now. Keeping that aside, the City comes across as a very well-rounded sedan in the C segment. Competition between all the cars in this segment should get all the more interesting now. Thank you guys for watching this video. I hope you liked it. Do hit the like button, share the video with your friends, and subscribe to the MotorBeam channel. Let me know in the comment section below what do you think about the 2020 Honda City.